mate. That's definitely a croc. Definitely, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt in my mind, that is a croc. As long as he stays there and we stay here, we should be pretty well right.
He's coming a bit closer, actually.
This is insane. Cape York Creek, I don't know what it's called. Hasn't got a name on the map, could be anything. We could be, I don't know, could be the first to fish this, I wouldn't have a clue.
A few locals know about it, mate, but that's the whole thing about this Cape York region, especially right up to the top. It's just completely untouched. I mean, a lot of people come up to Cape York, go to the point, get their photo, and they rip back home. But the tip itself has some of the best forward driving, camping and exploring, and just plain old adventuring that you can ever do.
I reckon you could spend come to the tip, spend another 2 weeks, and probably not see everything that's within just a very small radius of the tip of Cape York. We're going to try and show you how. Watch how we got to this very point. Now.
Mate, that barra has got my name on it. Hang on a second, I'm going to overcast you.
Oh, you did too. That's...
Looking for a mad deal on the gear that you're chasing? Like this awning, I've got you covered. Keep an eye out throughout this video for an exclusive discount code and get 10% off store-wide for all 4-Wheel-Drive Supacentre YouTube subscribers. And as always, enjoy this adventure because this is an epic trip.
On this trip, we're showing you that there's so much more to see north of the Jardine. We're kicking things off from Punsand Bay and then heading out to Somerset Beach, where we'll be tackling the 5 beaches. And after that, we're heading down to Sard Bay and exploring the wonders of Usher Point. Up front, my good mate Shauno is in the Dirty 30, and riding shotgun is Justin from NQ Crash. I'm back in Shorty and I'm being followed by Dion in the Scamper Campers 79, towing a Ranger XL. And last but not least, my old mate Stu from Wholesale Automatics. You know, most people think there's really only one way to get up to the tip once you get off the ferry, and that is just to barrel your way north on the main road, but it's actually 2 ways.
Yeah, mate, when the locals told us about this track, the Rover Flats Trail, they sort of smiled and grinned and said, oh, you're going to like that, boys. So I reckon we might be in for a bit of a treat today.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit wet, I think.
Oh, I think so.
What's it supposed to have on? A bit of mud, I'd imagine, because we're going in through, well, from what I can see on the VMS, it's quite swampy through here, is that right?
The boys say it could take anywhere from a couple of hours to a whole day. They've seen the whole road just underwater before.
Ah, yes. Underwater. All right, well, to the tip, the backwards way, the back door way. The Roma Flats track is one of those tracks that you can really hit or miss. You tackle it in the wet and you could spend days there. And in the dry, well, it could be a walk in the park. As for us, it's pretty good. Enough of a challenge, but I reckon we'll be right to make camp tonight on time. There's still a fair amount of water around, but the Cape didn't really get much of a wet this season. You can imagine what this would be like in the middle of the wet.
Yeah, boys, we've got a bit of a water crossing. Looks like it's quite muddy. I'm just going to ease into this one.
Yeah, mate, that was a little bit deeper than I thought.
I'm going to go some magic buttons. Give it a go. I'm going to go in first gear, I think, so I can idle in. Would you look at Shorty go? You know, I love this little truck. All I got to do is point and drive. Oh, it stinks. And look at Stu go. He's just cruising through in that auto of his and making it look easy. This is one of those creek crossings where there could be anything inside. And so for that reason, we like to hit it slow and then come out fast. Like all water crossings, there's no point in going in like a bull at a gate. That's just how you're going to do damage and end your trip before it's even started. It wasn't long and we'd hit our first challenge.
Should be quite interesting because it looks a little bit rutted.
You be careful, Sean, when you come over to your left and it leans.
I don't reckon I'd be far from the truth in saying that this track hasn't been driven this season. There's logs down and this is super soft right here.
Boys, I might get you to jump up. We might need a few horsepowers here.
Yeah. All right.
You ready?
This is going to feel awkward. Three-point turn. I still have that front locker on. changes how you can turn a vehicle and the front locker on. Turn it off obviously to try and turn that corner. It sometimes takes us a little bit. Oh, Graham, you should drive that easy, mate.
Alright, not much choice here but to follow the line that Sean's put in.
This truck constantly surprises me with its capability. I reckon the short wheelbase has helped me out a lot here too.
Oh, yes!
Now, I reckon this is going to be pretty tough for Dion. Even though he's twin locked, he's got a terrible turning circle in that 79 of his, and he's got to get that trailer around. Okay, well, that's the truck up. Now, he's just got to manoeuvre that trailer around. Yeah, you can see how he's had the same issue with Shauno there with that front locker. This is the perfect example of needing a spotter, and Justin's quick on the scene to hold him up to avoid damage to the trailer.
Taking off the wide to cut in.
Good work, fellas. Dion's through without any damage.
Thanks, boys.
Finding tracks like this really is the pinnacle of four-wheel driving in the Cape. You see, not many people will get to do this, and doing it in a four-wheel drive, well, that's the only way to do it in my books.
Well, Justin, I've got to say, mate, the Dirty 30 is running better than ever. It's been yet an NQ crash. You guys have done the absolute works to it.
When it came in, Sean, look, it was, you can just about tell it's using more oil than it was using burning fuel.
Yeah.
Diagnosed it correctly. We had an engine failure. Look, we basically gave it a ground up rebuild.
Yeah.
Crank up, our pistons rod, rebored it, got the pistons ceramic coated and Teflon lined for you. We went through everything. Reconditioned cylinder head. We've got a custom grind cam put in it for turbos. Look, I'm pretty well sure that this engine now will handle anything you can throw at it.
I suppose that's what people can sort of expect when they come to your workshop, can't they?
Well,
you guys really have an eye for detail.
Look, when you get there, we go right through the car and we do what we think's needed. It's not going to leave the shop unprepared.
You guys are in the perfect location because no matter where in Australia you're coming from, Cairns is your last proper stop before you go up to the tip. So
look, yeah, we're the last stop on the way up, and we're the first one, your first real stop on your way back. So
there you go, mate. I'll put your number in my phone because I dare say I'll be calling again.
We'll be talking.
After a little bit of rainforest section, we hit the beach, and what a place to see. It really pays off having a chat to the locals up here. Drop into the croc tent on the way to the tip and ask Dale and Lee for a map of the area, and trust me, you won't be disappointed. Before I could even get out of Shorty, Shauno's already out and looking for fresh rock oysters. And yeah, you guessed it, I wasn't far behind him. This has got to be one thing you can't miss when you're coming up the Cape. But it's not just oysters we're after. Small or not, you'll take him.
Absolutely beautiful. I think I'll probably get a dozen in about a metre square around here. It's just so mad. There's another one down there. There's everywhere. Yeah, there he is right down there. There's a mud crab just hiding under these oysters. Sort of fashion up a bit of fencing wire. I don't know if this is going to work. No way to find out. He's going to come racing out, what's the bet?
Yep, he's going to attack your foot, mate. He doesn't want to see you. He's like, oh, Sean Whale. Ah, yeah.
Little male mud crab. So you need a measurement between the carapace, there and there. I think they're going to be 13 centimetres in Queensland. I've got a book in there, I'll double check to make sure he is. But that might be lunch. The first bit of lunch, I reckon there's a few more around here. We'll get a couple more out, hopefully.
Now, the actual legal size is 15 centimetres, so we let this fella go, but Shauno was determined to get a big one. But after a solid half an hour's effort, this is all he could find. Oysters it is then, mate.
These are a little bit of salt and pepper, some hot sauce, Cape York oysters fresh off the rocks. Have a look at that. Even if you don't like oysters, you've got to come down here and try these because they are, I'm dribbling on myself, I'm so excited, really nice.
Just about as good as it gets.
Dion's just in seventh heaven.
You know what that is over there?
It's a tip of Cape York.
It really is.
You can always see tourists taking their photos and getting ready to barrel back down that road.
Don't, stop, come over here.
We'll keep going this way, I reckon.
Shall we? All right, mate, let's go. Okay, now, remember that rainforest section I was talking about? Well, we had to get back through that. And that proved to be a bit harder than we first thought, and there wasn't much room for a run-up. Dion was going nowhere fast with that trailer on the back.
With the extra weight of the camper, the soft sand, mate, just can't make it up that hill.
It's always logistically difficult when you're on these tight single tracks in order to get the vehicles in a position to get a recovery underway. Dion's winch packed it in on him a while back, haven't been able to fix that. I haven't got a rear winch, so I'm not much use to him. Shauno's got a rear winch, so I've gotten out of the way to try and get Shauno under this tree and use his rear winch to bring Dion up.
I tell you what, Shauno, that winch has paid for itself many, many times over. It's not something you see on every four-wheel drive, but gee, it's handy. You can see just how soft this is. Dion has no traction, and without a winch here, it'd be days before anyone could come and help. But now that he's up, we've got a new challenge. The 79 is the tallest truck and probably the hardest to manoeuvre through these trees. With a bit of landscaping on a dead tree, we managed to get him through. Lucky, these trailers are built super tough. Now that we're through that bit, we've got just one last hill before making camp.
That looks like a rocky little climb, mate.
Hey, tell you what, Justin and I will be best mates after this drive. We're just bouncing around in here and nearly knocking heads.
All right, come on, old girl, up you get. Yes, I'm up. Well, nearly. Oh, yeah. Come on up.
There's so much torque in that 79, and you can see that Dion's just taking it slow and steady, just letting the truck walk through, and of course, the trailer just follows. The auto in Stu's truck makes this effortless. In fact, I bet Stu's got some music playing in there, and he's probably even playing the mouth harp as he's driving up this hill.
As you can see, it's pretty windy. When I say pretty windy, it's an understatement. It's about 45 knots in the shade. I'll tell you, we're cooking up a green chicken curry. Justin's recipe, I can't take credit for this one, mate.
We've got a lot of chicken here for the boys. We'll brand it off first, get it up to some heat, throw the curry paste in, get it up to some speed again, then we'll just go from down that. Veggies, some rice, and a lot of chilli just for Graham.
First thing I'm gonna do though, jump into the Waco. In here, I should have all the main ingredients for a chicken stir fry, namely the chicken. Here's a couple of breasts here. I'm gonna dig a bit deeper for the other ones, mate. Ooh, Forrest Gold. I noticed you've already helped yourself to one, mate.
I couldn't wait for you.
That's a go. So we're gonna dice all that chicken up. We're gonna put it into the hot pan. I can get the hot pan going.
If you could,
can get the chicken going. Okay, right, we've got some heat. That's important. Cooking in 45 knots of wind. You're cutting up some onion?
Yep, you do that. If you can get to make sure that's hot, throw that on.
Yep, I put a bit of oil in there.
Definitely. Oh, you've done it?
Yeah, yeah, that should almost sizzle. Oh yeah. All right. While that's browning up nice, I want to show you one quick thing. Would you have a go at this? Ford of Action Cape York 2016. This was made by Sarah, the owner of Cape York Spares and Repairs.
Yep.
And also Choco, he put this together. He's a carpenter by trade. Made it for us. They're camped just down beside us. Tell you what, absolute awesome people. We've used the workshop a lot since we've been up here. We've had a few repairs. We needed a few spares, so look at this.
Yeah, thanks.
What are you going to do with that?
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Make sure that goes back in the 30, mate.
That's for everybody, eh?
All right, that's looking almost brown. So what do you reckon? You happy with that?
That was looking really good.
Okay.
Throw it in.
We've got Thai green curry paste. Now it makes it a heck of a lot easier. You can camp this stuff. You can buy it from any supermarket. It makes curries really easy. They've got a whole range, don't they, mate? Coconut cream, 2 tins of this. It needs to cook for another 20 or so minutes. I'm going to cook that down. We're going to add the veggies.
We've got some bamboo shoots and everything.
Then we're going to make a bit of rice, and then we can eat. All right. So I've got a pan on heat. I want to make the rice. What I want to do here is about a cup of rice. Straight into the pan with hot oil. You're probably thinking, that's not how you make rice, Shauno. Trust me, just bear with us. The whole purpose behind this rice is we're actually sort of frying the rice a little bit in the pan with a bit of olive oil. We're chucking in onion for flavour mainly. And it sort of all fries together just for a couple of minutes. Doesn't have to be too crazy.
So if I want to do this at home, it's garlic, onion, bit of oil, fry it off first, then I go to the water.
That's right.
That is completely different to how I do it. Something different, something, show me something new.
It's a bit weird, but what will happen is the onion and all that flavour will go through the rice, makes it a way more flavoursome.
Oh, okay.
Rice, yeah.
Oh, very good. Now that's now basically starting to shallow boil, if you want to call it.
Yep.
I think it's time for the veggies.
Veggies.
All right.
Veggies in.
All right, all those veggies are in now, mate.
Mate.
Can you give it a good stir for me, please?
Oh, that's looking like a proper green curry.
Look at the colour now.
Okay, that rice is going right. 20 minutes, I reckon, no more, and we're going to have dinner served. Beauty, mate. I might go have another beer.
I think we need to.
That's good, isn't it?
Damn, guys.
Beautiful.
That is a work of art.
Yeah.
That is the Mona Lisa.
What's the verdict, boys?
Mate, I'm impressed.
That is
I
good.
really am. It's bloody good, yeah.
For a camp feed in 45 knot winds. Tell you what, there you go, guys. A green chicken curry, basic ingredients, stuff you can sort of take camping with you. I mean, it doesn't get any better. When it's blowing 45 knots out there, you got a nice warm green curry in here. That's about as good as it gets. What do you reckon, boys?
Beautiful, mate. Superb.
Get more for less at 4-Wheel Drive Supacentre with incredible deals on Adventure King's camping and outdoor gear. Take your camping experience to the next level with the amazing Grand Tourer Mark III aluminium rooftop tent, the rooftop tent that practically sets itself up. King's portable gazebos are built ultra strong with a tough steel frame, are easy to set up even by yourself and are available in multiple sizes for the campsite or the job site. The incredible new 270-degree freestanding awning can be set up in just 40 seconds and wraps around the side and the back of your car for incredible amounts of shelter. Hit the water on a King's inflatable stand-up paddleboard for an insane amount of fun at the beach, the river or the dam. But warning, it's highly addictive. Plus there's fridges, solar panels and more to make every adventure incredible. At 4-Wheel Drive Supacentre, you get more for less.
It's early morning and Shauno and I are off for a fish. Sarah and Choco, the guys who kindly made the timber 4-wheel drive action sign, have let us borrow their tinny for the morning with the hopes of bringing back a barra or two for breakfast.
The good thing about this sort of creek is you can find absolutely anything, but barramundi, mangrove jack, tarpon, queenfish, trevally, the list goes on. Just hope we catch at least one of those and we'll be stoked.
With the sun coming up, we've had no luck in getting anything at all. I reckon it's probably because Shauno was there. Well, that's what I'm going to go with anyway.
See what I see?
What, the big grey clouds?
Storm coming in, mate.
Yeah, you can feel it. It's really starting to pick up.
All right, what do you say we beach this and go and jump in the trucks?
Sounds good, mate. Sounds good.
We might stick to dry land.
All right, just one more cast.
One more cast?
Yeah, right.
Oh, I love sandflies. They're good for you. Righto, one more cast.
Cavitates like a boss.
That's the only view I want when I'm cooking breakfast. I know one can hear that one.
How good is that? We're drenched from getting hit by that flash storm right there, but we've come back to the boys stuck into cooking up a feed for breakfast.
Curry powder.
Oh, the boys are
Hey!
back.
Hello.
Geez, that smells good.
How'd you go?
Well,
Yeah, real good, mate.
glad you've got bacon.
Exactly
It's in
right.
the Waco already, is it? You fill it, it's done.
Yeah, something like
Well,
that,
this is my bacon, so
Well, that's right, you got plenty there.
Mate, there we go, this is right.
That's a sight for sore eyes, that is.
That's good, mate. We get this breakfast in us. We've got a stack of trucks to do today. We get out and hit them.
Yep. No doubt about you, mate. Oh, that's a cheese and eggy number, isn't it?
With everyone packed up, we're on our way out to the 5 beaches. But it's worth making a stop in at Somerset Beach before you do. Not only does it have great camping, but it's got a lot of history too.
Well, this right here is the graves of the Jardine family. Of course, they came up in 1864 and they brought with them, they were the first to actually do so, they brought with them 250 head of cattle and they drove those cattle over 1,000 miles to get up to the tip here and onto the beach. And this is where they came to rest after many, many years in the top end. You got to really think about it, how harsh it would have been. We just arrived in trucks. I mean, our trucks aren't exactly new or flash or anything, but they are a lot flasher than the back of a horse, and that's all the Jardines would have known for the entire time they were up here. Right through the wet season, into the dry. Different time, it really was.
This here is a monument to Kennedy, who was pivotal in exploring and opening up the Cape York Peninsula. Unfortunately, in 1848, he was speared fatally down near Usher Point. We're going to be heading tomorrow at a place called Escape River. So we're going to go and follow the trail, the history trail here. It's a lot of rich history when you really think about it. It's quite remarkable. I think these people did it all on horseback, and Australia was a different place back then, let me tell you. Really, really tough in today's standards, but back then, this place was completely untouched, so it's a privilege to be following this.
Ah, yes, it's set in the west. It was time to leave this monument and start heading down towards the 5 beaches. And when Sean sees a beach, he gets excited. I quickly air down the bridgestones and we're on our way out to beach number 1.
You sure about this? I can't see the track at all.
Yeah, it's nothing too hard, but it looks pretty bouncy. Hang on. Oh,
Yeah, that's it, Justin. Don't let go of that handle over this stuff, mate. Actually, here's my word of advice. Don't ever let go of it. I know exactly what that truck is capable of. Once again, Dion is just taking it slow and steady, but at times I think he completely forgets that trailer's back there because he knows it's going to follow him wherever he goes. Stu just likes to take a challenging line every now and again because he enjoys the drive. He's actually got a pedigree in racing, and you can see it in the way that he tackles terrain like this.
This is paradise, mate.
What a spot. How many people even know this exists? I don't even have the words. This is unbelievably picturesque.
I think most people when they come up to Cape York, they just think, oh yeah, get the photo with the tip, and they turn around and come back home. This is paradise. It's just undiscovered.
Now, beaches 2, 3 and 4 are all fairly straightforward and not very long. However, on a summer's day, I reckon that would be the perfect spot to pull up camp, get the barbecue going and just enjoy life.
We just bumped into a couple of locals there. In fact, it was the Bamaga Police Force having a camping weekend away. Thanks to me stubby holder, boys. I'll be putting that to good use later on, you can bet. Now, that was beach number 5. If you continue on, you of course come to what they call, the locals call beach number 6, but in order to get down to it, pretty gnarly apparently, and that's why it doesn't get used that often. So, we're going to turn left just up here and drop into the famous beach number 6. Wish us luck, see how we go. Yeah, should look down there. Sean, I can't see from here, mate.
I'm just taking my time down here real nice and slow because it's
Nice and steady.
Oh, here we go. Down, down, down.
What is it, that coffee rock, is it?
Yeah, it's all coffee rock and like other little rocks and stuff, and just sort of run it out, you know. Oh, hang on.
First gear low range.
Old Shorty, I really have gotten to know this truck inside and out over the years, and tracks like this for me now, it's just really a matter of settling down and letting the gearing do the work. That said, I reckon the next modification for me will be some reduction gears.
Righto, Dion, come on down, mate.
Dion, slow and steady, making sure he gets through in one piece, but at the same time, as I said before, I don't think he's too concerned about that trailer. He knows how tough they are. Of course, Dion, just like myself, is letting that manual do all the work. Engine braking, when coming downhill and towing a trailer, is everything. That said, however, on the other hand, having an auto with Wholesale Auto's lock-up kit is even better. Stu has basically got to do nothing coming down this hill. The engine and the lock-up kit are doing everything for him, and that auto is working perfectly. That said, when he wants to switch, he can and go straight back into manual mode and drive it just like a manual four-wheel drive.
Definitely driving up into a storm.
I think you might be right, Mr. Dog. Oh, that's steep.
This rocky terrain is a little uncomfortable to drive through, I've got to be honest. It's also something we must be very wary of when it comes to tyres. This kind of terrain isn't kind on tyres. We don't want to do any damage out here whilst we're so early into our trip.
Yeah, look, if I didn't see some faint outlines of tyre tracks, I reckon I'd be feeling a bit nervous about coming down here.
If you got stuck here with that tyre, it'd come right through here, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's not a question of are there crocs here, it's a question of how many. Yeah, lots of them, mate.
These big trees look very cool, but their root systems and stuff.
Yeah, those mangrove trees are something else, aren't they?
Yeah, this beach looks treacherous. There'll be sinkholes and all sorts of things. I think I might just follow your wheel tracks, bud.
Beach 7 through here is an absolute cracker. It seems to go forever. And the amount of beachcombing that you could do here, well, I reckon you could find just about anything. In fact, that said, Sarah and Choco just the other day found a full dugout canoe that had washed out on the beach here. Now that is really something else. You'll find a heap of little creeks and streams just like this that lead down to the ocean, and you'll find the majority of them will be full of fish. But be wary, folks, this is croc country. Now, once again, we couldn't stop Shauno from having another cast, and I don't blame him though. This is just the spot for it. Let's just hope he's a bit luckier than this morning.
Have a go at this. This is caught in about 2 foot of water, just sight casting a barramundi on the flats. That's about as good as fishing gets in my books. And more importantly, this right here is dinner. So not bad for a 5-minute stop at a creek. I say onwards and upwards. We just made it right down to the end of the 7th beach on the 5 beach area. Our plan is, don't even ask, the plan is to go back to the 5th beach and then we're gonna camp up there. The problem is, this was a nice campsite. The southeasterly winds are coming right through it, unfortunately. And the other big problem is the tide. If the tide comes in, which it will overnight, in the morning it's gonna be high tide. We're not gonna be able to get off this beach till about lunchtime. We've got big plans to head south. So, I think we're gonna go back and set up camp.
I reckon with this cloud cover, we might need spotties on going through that rainforest section.
Yeah, you're not wrong, mate. I reckon we might even get some rain tonight too.
With the weather coming in fast, and while the going was good, we decided to make a dash down south towards Sard Bay instead. We'd get some good Ks in and beat the most of this rain that was heading our way. I tell you what though, we picked the right time to get off these beaches. You can see just how quickly this tide is coming in.
Yeah, that's that last little challenge, fellas, that one to get up on top of this headland. It's going to be a little bit wet and maybe a bit more tricky going up and down.
How much of a difference to the 4.6s, mate, you think?
Oh, I could just pick in my line, I could go nice and slow.
Last hill climb out was a bit of a doozy and actually caught me by surprise. Whilst I made it up in one go, I didn't choose the right gear and tried to come up in 2nd gear low. It's too rocky for that, and I had to do a swift gear change back into 1st and just crawl my way up. Dion, of course, did exactly the same, as did Shauno.
I think we're coming up to that Sad Point turn-off, mate.
Ah, yeah, heading north from here, eh?
Yeah, look, it fits the description what some of the locals in town were saying. I might actually just pull over here and just check it on the beaver vest. Hang on a sec.
Alright, mate, hang on. I'll jump out and have a look at you.
You reckon this is the Sand Point turn off?
I think so, mate. A couple of locals are telling me this is the turn-off here. I just wanted to check on the VOS to make sure, and it looks like it goes all the way up. It's probably about 26 kilometres and it sort of backs down on itself there.
What's the track like, don't I?
It looks like a normal sort of track. It's nothing too crazy.
Okay.
I don't think it gets a lot of traffic, but at the same time, I reckon a few locals use it.
Well, let's prove them wrong and make it a happy point, not a sad point. All right, so we have to reverse up a bit, yeah?
Yeah. All right, let's go in there.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool.
Our time had come to an end on the 5 beaches, and definitely something to put on your list when you're next up the Cape. We made our way down to Sard Bay and found a perfect little spot sheltered from the wind next to a lagoon. Although I don't think we'll be doing any swimming in here tonight. There's got to be a heap of snapping handbags in there. I reckon we best stick to the shallows tonight, boys. Dion's not mucking around though. We may still get a shower of rain, so we're straight into setting up the Ranger XL for the night. And I'm pretty sure Shauno's going to be putting that kitchen to use soon with that fresh barra. I'm up and out of the sand in my rooftop tent and the rest of the boys in their swags. The key with cooking a barra on the coals is to make sure first and foremost that you've got a lot of coals to work with. So get your fire going early.
So we've got a fresh barramundi, it's literally hours old, so I'm going to do this really simple and let the flavours of the barramundi really come out. Now I'm using the camper kitchen, I've got heaps of space here, aluminium, I'm going to keep it real simple here. I've got some spices, got some oregano, I'll put a bit of curry powder, some lime, some onion, and that's basically it, some salt and pepper. Now I'm going to wrap it up and just literally put it straight on those coals, turn it over. This will be one of the best eating fish you'll ever eat.
Make sure you wrap that barra up good and tight. After that, it really is a patience game. A fish of this size will take an hour and a half perhaps. There's no point in rushing it and putting a heap of coals in. All you'll do is burn the outside and have it raw on the inside. And that's good for us. Time to sit back and enjoy a beer.
It's pretty hot in there. All those bones should just pull. It's that light.
That is.
Yes, that's barramundi as fresh as it gets. That's pretty good.
There's nothing more to say about that. That is.
We need forks, we need...
Well,
maybe
we
not.
don't really.
Get more for less at 4-Wheel Drive Supacentre with insane deals on King's DIY storage and 12-volt gear to build your dream 4-wheel drive. Whether it's an inverter you need to run 240-volt gear on the job site or the campsite, a battery box or a 12-volt control box to easily access your power, King's 12-volt DIY gear is what you need to take your 12-volt setup to the next level. Need a battery? King's has you covered with a full range of AGM, slimline and lithium batteries in sizes ranging from 98 amp hour to 200 amp hour, all built with ultra high quality components to go the distance. And of course, you just can't beat King's solar panels and blankets to silently charge your batteries anytime the sun's out. At 4-Wheel Drive Supacentre, you get more for less.
Time to pack up camp in the morning and start making our way south.
Alright boys, we've come to an overgrown little bit of track here. It's got a real big step up, so I'm going to try and, I don't know, try and climb out of this big rut. So it's massive actually.
That is a rather large rut.
I can't see anything, mate.
Maybe you can guide us.
Yep, I think we might have to do that.
I might get Justin a spot real quick.
Justin can't get out. Oh, that looks all kinds of horrible.
That's not cool.
You can see Sean just picking a line here and taking it easy, but at the same time making sure he's got enough momentum to get him up and through there. Having watched Shauno, I now know exactly the line that I'm going to take. I've engaged first gear low range here and I've put my rear locker in. I'm not using my front locker at this stage because I do want to be able to turn, and I find slightly difficult to turn with the front locker in. And as you can see, we've made it through that with no dramas. No dramas! I'll be interested to see how Dion goes here with the trailer, but I reckon that big 79 with the amount of power it's got is going to walk straight up there. And that is exactly what it's done. That thing not only sounds insane, but it makes everything look way too easy. Coming along this section of track, we could see just how much the wet season changes these things. Massive ruts had been formed, and it's pretty much washed away the entire track. But that won't stop us. We've got shovels and the Dirty 30.
Pretty typical on the top end, especially when you're early in the season, just after a bit of a wet. We didn't have much of a wet this season, but still, a heck of erosion's taking place in this track. Half the track is actually washed right away. Just water's come through, bang, half your track's gone. So that's where shovel comes in handy. A few blokes, get some logs, whatever you can find, try and build this down, and hopefully we can make somewhat of a road back here. I think other travellers might even thank us for it.
We're getting just about anything that we can find to try and help build this track back up again. I'm talking rocks, logs, dirt, you name it, we're throwing it in there. Let's see how we go.
No, go back, go back.
Where am I? I can't even see.
Okay, we're going to have to take this slow and steady, metre by metre. The trouble here is that if anything gives way or we push too hard, we're going to do panel damage. These ruts are huge.
Keep coming.
Shauno's got twin locks and he's got 4.6 diff gears in this, so that helps slow things right down and just do things calculated.
Yeah! Oh! I did not expect that. That was insane.
That's really cool. I can smell a bit of clutch. I had no choice but to ride that a little bit. That's cool.
That's impressive. I didn't expect that. All right. I'll let the midget truck have a go.
Okay, I was quietly confident coming through this, having watched Shauno. I know what Shorty's capable of, and the short wheelbase in this situation, because it is so tight, is really going to help me out, especially as I drop in here and have to power back out the other side. There's going to be some wheel lift, but no dramas at all. Of course, I've got to hand it over to the lockers as well. They really did help.
That's him, that's him. Nice drive, man. Now the trailer.
Yeah. I'm concerned about Dion coming through here, not so much the 79, but the trailer. He hasn't got a great deal of flex, and with the extra weight, this could prove problematic. Look at that though, by goodness, he's right in there now, and it's all about horsepower. That big V8 engine, and of course Dion knows how to use it. I don't think he's even concerned about the trailer. So long as the 79 gets up, which it does, the trailer is just going to follow, which it does. That is a good drive, mate.
That's a go.
Sounds sick.
Yeah.
With the tougher stuff behind us, we're full steam ahead to the beach. Usher Point is a fair trek off the PDR, around 60 kilometres of winding tracks and through thick bushland, rainforest and wastelands.
This is one of my most favourite places in Australia.
I'm with you. Look at that campsite down there, mate. I'm going to be hard pressed to leave here today.
I don't know if we should. I reckon we should even make camp down here. Who knows? We might even be able to cross the Logan Jack. I don't know. There's just so many opportunities down here for adventure.
What's that tide doing? She going out?
Yeah, she's going out. It won't be low till another couple of hours.
All right, let's go and have a look at the back caves and go and look at the river. And then I might just cross it. Whether you blokes follow me or not, that's up to you.
Yeah, mate. I'm with you there.
So we're going to get a rock crossing up here, mate.
Yeah, got to cross this one here. I think there's a few of these actually.
You're going to come across a heap of these rocky headlands along the beach here, and you can take two different routes. It's up to you. Either head over the rocks or go around them, but risk finding a sinkhole in the sand. Of course, the rocks, you do have the risk of tyre damage, and there's also saltwater risks on the other side. It's about 50-50, robbing from Peter to feed Paul. It really is a risk-reward situation, and it's up to you to figure out what's the best way to go when you get here.
Just a perfect car-size gap.
This beach right here acts like a huge catchment zone and all sorts of things get washed up. I mean things like buoys, boats, thongs, there's even planes been found on here. However, the one thing that I've been really excited to get to see again is the bat caves. Now, these are not huge caves, and of course the bats that inhabit them are not very big either, but you're guaranteed of seeing them every time you get down to Usher Point.
Quite lovely.
These guys hold up in here during the day and come out at night to feed. So if you're quiet and careful and come in with a small torch, you should be able to see all these cool little bats.
Those little bats though, look at them.
Oh, they're insane, this.
Look, they're actually the face on that one closest to us.
Yeah. Looks like
Hang on a second. Just
looks like a pig, I'd say.
sweet Jesus.
I was here 4 years ago, and I was about 4 years old, so you never know your luck, mate.
That looks a lot like you.
Now we've got arguably one of the most challenging sections of this beach. They're trying to get off the beach. Really, really soft sand. We got bogged several times just coming onto the beach with this soft sand. Now we've got to go back uphill. So we're lowering the tide pressures even more. So 18 PSI, now going down to 12 PSI on the Land Cruiser and even less on the trailer. With a bit of luck, fingers crossed, and a lot of right foot. Who knows? We might snatch him off the beach. He might even make it on his own steam. We'll see in a second.
Okay, Dion is really going to need this run up and every ounce of power from that V8 to get the trailer and the truck up out of here unscathed.
Come on, son, go.
Listen to that thing go, gee whiz. Secretly, I didn't think he was going to make it, but the amount of power that truck has got, nothing would surprise me anymore.
Look, he's got the hard bit. Well done, mate. That's a bloody good drive.
No worries.
All right, I'm coming through, boys.
Bloody rock hard, mate.
Okay, I've stuffed up here. I'm going to say it was the 3 4-wheel drive rule. I'm the 3rd 4-wheel drive coming through and that corner has been so badly chewed up. Truth be told, I actually came through in the wrong gear and didn't have the momentum to carry me around the corner.
Nah, boys, I can't get through this tuned up section that you two have done. I blame you, Shauno. Hey, Stu, I don't think you'll be able to snatch me here, mate, because we've got that water directly in front.
Get the max tracks off the roof, eh?
Yeah, mate, I'll just do a solo recovery. I'll go backwards, take a different line, eh?
Sounds good.
Can you reach the max tracks? They're pretty high.
Well, you just stay there and enjoy your own company.
Okay.
I could probably muck around here trying to go forward back. Chances are I'm just going to get more and more bogged. This is amazingly soft sand. As such, I'm not going to muck around and I'm going to go to the simple and effective max tracks.
Okay, the real trick with these max tracks is to avoid, at all costs, wheel spin, because if you spin your wheels, you just knock these little nubbins off that are on top. That's actually what's giving you the grip. And obviously if you knock these off, well, they don't work at all well. You don't need to get wheel spin. You really only need to idle. It feels weird because you feel like you need to just give it everything you've got to get out of here, but you don't. You can idle out of here and then give it more when you get on the sand. So, fingers crossed, let's give it a go. Yes, yes, yes. Trying to get through here nice and slow. All the power in the world, you can crawl up here. Tyre pressures are everything, if you ask me.
Okay, Stu has seen exactly what not to do and exactly what to do. I guarantee you he's going to use that right boot of his. Go for it, mate. Look at that, like a rat out of a drain pipe. Straight up that hill, and he's out of here. Good drive, buddy. We were really keen to take one last look at Usher Point, one of the true wonders of the Cape. It's got history, great 4-wheel driving, amazing camping, and even though it's windy as buggery, you can see why Shauno absolutely loves this place. And with views like this, who wouldn't? You know, after a week of exploring up here, it really is sad to leave this place and jump back on the ferry and head home. But finding these secret spots, I tell you, it's what it's all about.
There you go. Oh, what a tight.
It is
little
tight,
fit.
mate. Real tight squeeze in here. Jardine Ferry, that means for us, well, we're heading back south. A bit gutted about that, if I'm honest.
Mate, there's so much to the tip of Cape York other than the sign, and I've been absolutely blown away.
Yeah, there really is. I think if you're just going to come straight up here and go to the sign and come back down, of course you're doing the teletrack, you're going to go out to one of the beaches there and stay in the van parks. That's fantastic. But please, do yourself a favour, do your research, and spend, I don't know, give yourself another week.
Easy.
If you can,
easy,
another
as a
week.
minimum.
At the tip. So what I'm saying is we're on the Jardine now. We've got a long old drive south. So the tip's just there. Spend a week up there. You'll have an absolute blast. The OTL's this way, the tip's that way.
I'll tell you what, I'm coming back next time because there's some great fishing, some great camping.
It's got everything.
That is paradise up there.
It really is.
If you ask me.
I'm surprised you haven't put a line over the side, mate.
I was thinking about trying on Lure. Do you reckon he'll let me?
No, he won't. No. Folks, we'll catch you next time. You know exactly where. I'm going to let him say it.
Full drive action. I'll see you
yeah,
there.
sure, no. Catch you guys.
Forget building your own set of storage drawers or paying well over $1,000 for a set elsewhere, and get your hands on a set of incredibly tough and unbeatable value for money Titan storage drawers. Our entire range of Titan storage drawers have been built to handle just about anything you can throw at them. All models of Titan double drawers come with an included built-in fridge slide on the left-hand side, saving you up to $200 compared to some other brands that charge extra for a fridge slide. Each drawer top also has these heavy-duty spring-loaded tie-down points to secure your gear on even the most corrugated roads. We've put them through their paces like none other. We've jumped on them, overloaded them with bricks, chucked an engine on the drawers at full extension, absolutely flooded them and used them off-road year after year to prove just how tough they are. The Titan 900 single drawer is perfect for those who have limited space to install a storage drawer. It has internal dimensions of 430mm wide, 790mm long, and 190mm deep. The Titan 900 double drawer setup is ideal for smaller wagons like Prados, Pajeros, and SUVs, with the internal dimensions identical to the 900 single drawer on each side. The Titan 1300 ute drawers are made specifically for vans and utes. The internal dimensions are 1200mm long, 430mm wide, and 150mm high. The 1300mm single drawers are also a cracking addition to the back of vans and utes. The internal dimensions are the same as the double 1300 drawers, but have an extra 40mm of depth, making them 190mm deep. And finally, for the bigger wagons like Land Cruisers and Patrols, the double 1070 storage drawers have internal dimensions of 880mm long, 470mm wide, and 180mm of depth. They come 95% pre-assembled, and all you need to install them is a couple of basic hand tools and a couple of hours on a lazy Sunday arvo. You can also add optional wing kits, both model specific and DIY, so you can finish off the back of your four-wheel drive and have plenty of storage available for your next adventure. Take your setup to the next level with the incredibly tough and unbeatable value for money Titan storage drawers.
If you're after a next level 12-volt upgrade for your vehicle or your next camping trip, then check this out. The Adventure King's 120 amp hour lithium battery. This uses high capacity, brand new grade A lithium iron phosphate cells capable of thousands of cycles. It's paired with a high quality BMS able to output up to 160 amps of current. The future of 12-volt setups is here. Lithium batteries are super lightweight and still have heaps of power capacity. In fact, this battery weighs just over 15 kilos. That's about half as much as a similar capacity AGM. But that's not all. Lithium batteries have the ability to use their entire capacity from 100 to 0% and still have an incredibly long life. The reason Adventure King's lithium batteries are so good is because they use lithium iron phosphate chemistry. That means if you're using the entire 120 amp hours of capacity in this battery every day, it would still last almost 5.5 years. Some cheap lithium batteries use grade B or even second-hand cells to keep the cost down, but not here. Adventure King's lithium iron phosphate batteries use brand new grade A prismatic cells. When these batteries are assembled, each individual cell is matched with others and then grouped. Then those cells are balanced, which means that these batteries always function at their best and ensure you have full capacity. Another major feature of these Adventure King's 120 amp hour lithium batteries is the high quality internal battery management system. This BMS for short takes care of the individual cells. It balances them while you're charging your battery. It prevents overcharge, over-discharge, over-temperature, and short circuits. A high quality BMS is so important, and it's also incredibly important to match the BMS to the cells and the use of the battery. A good indicator of a high quality BMS is to look for high current discharge and charge ratings. This battery is capable of charging and discharging constantly at up to 100 amps, and it can do a peak discharge of 160 amps of current. A high discharge current and a high peak discharge current are very important if you want to run things like inverters that need a lot of power when they turn on to fill the capacitors. If you're looking at a battery that has a much lower charge and discharge rate, they could be cost cutting by using a cheaper BMS. Lithium iron phosphate is a safe technology, unlike some other lithium chemistries, and Adventure King's lithium batteries are doubly safe. Not only are they sealed and safe to use in your vehicle, they've also passed a short circuit test, overcharge test, over temperature test, and a vibration test, so they're ready to be put to use. Some lithium batteries are extremely sensitive to hot and cold temperatures, and they can be damaged or destroyed by trying to use them. Adventure King's batteries though can be charged anywhere from 0 to 50 degrees Celsius and used or discharged anywhere from -20 right through to +60 degrees Celsius. They use threaded M8 terminals for high power output and easy connection. Measuring in at 330mm long by 162mm wide and 215mm tall, they fit perfectly in an Adventure King's battery box for a lightweight and powerful portable power station. And with 120 amp hours on tap, you could run a camping fridge for 5 or even 6 days. Or you can permanently install them in your vehicle for a next level, super powerful setup that barely weighs anything. And for that reason, they're perfect for your four-wheel drive, motorhome, caravan, or camper trailer, where you need to be concerned about GVM and GCM limits. So if you want a safe, lightweight, super powerful, and super long-lasting lithium battery for your next level setup, you can't beat an Adventure King's 120 amp hour lithium battery.
Introducing the incredible Adventure King's Premium Camp Oven Stove. Your new best mate for delicious barbecue or campfire cooking and warm, cozy fires whether you're at home in your backyard or at your favorite campsite. Let me show you all the things that I absolutely love about it, and I'm sure you're gonna love too. This amazing bit of gear has been designed right here in Australia, and it combines a camping stove and a portable barbecue into one. It can run off multiple fuel sources: wood, heat beads, charcoal, briquettes, and more. When it's time to cook up a feast, you can fit 2 large pots or pans on this huge flat cooktop surface that measures in at 520mm long by 300mm wide. That's enough space to cook up a feast for the entire family. And because it runs on wood or heat beads, you can leave the gas bottle behind, one less thing to pack. And when you want a beautiful roaring campfire, use the included hook tool to simply lift the 2-piece lid off completely and just add in some more firewood. The raised and closed design means you won't risk scorching your grass, your deck, or even your driveway. And you'll be able to use it for a beautiful warm fire at campsites that don't allow open ground fires. Plus, your fire would last longer because you're closer to the heat. Now that's cozy. The enclosed design means it's super efficient, and you can make the most of your fuel by directing the heat exactly where you want it. You can even adjust the temperature of your fire by varying the airflow. With these sliding vents on the side, a 2-piece removable lid on top, and an adjustable flue, you're always in control. Remove the entire lid for an open fire, or just this circular inner piece if you need extra heat for cooking, like searing steaks to finish them off. And this up here, now that is a real game changer. A chimney that extends over 2.4 meters off the ground to direct smoke away from your campsite for smoke-free campfires. You can even position the premium camp oven stove under your awning, your gazebo, or your shed for maximum warmth. And the angular offset chimney piece allows smoke to funnel away rather than getting trapped underneath. There's even a spark arrestor on top for good measure. There are so many more things to absolutely love about the King's Premium Camp Oven Stove. It's been designed to be super sturdy with these 4 large legs that extend the footprint a foot wider in both directions for excellent stability. The legs simply screw into the bottom like this, and you can remove the middle piece for a lower fire. This huge access door swings open with the included hook tool to allow you to easily refill the premium camp oven stove as required. Inside, you've got this fuel rack that keeps your wood or your charcoal up off the floor, maximising airflow and preventing wasted heat. It's a breeze to transport, set up and pack down too, with no tools required. Each of the 4 two-piece legs simply screw together and the chimney pieces pack into each other, with everything fitting into the main body of the premium camp oven stove for simple transport. Make sure you don't miss the incredible genuine cooking accessories available too, like a proper wood-fired meat smoker and a clever barbecue hot plate set to really take your camp cooking to the next level. And a stainless steel water boiler too. Whether I'm at home in my backyard or out camping with family, my mates, or even by myself, I absolutely love my Adventure Kings premium camp oven stove. It's a portable fire pit, it's a wood or charcoal barbecue, and it's the centerpiece of every backyard get-together or camping adventure, and I know you're gonna love yours too.
You asked and we've listened. The incredible MT1 Go Anywhere camper trailer has just received an ATM upgrade to 2 tons. All new Adventure Kings MT1 camper trailers will now come with the new upgraded 2-ton ATM. But don't worry if you already own an MT1, because a retrofit upgrade kit is available too. The MT1 is already an ultra tough trailer with a one-piece 150 by 50mm chassis that extends right from the drawbar all the way to the back of the trailer. Now it's even tougher with upgraded suspension, bearings, brakes and wheels to bring it up to a 2-ton ATM. The brakes are upgraded from 10-inch to 12-inch electric brakes. The alloy rims are now rated to 2-ton ATM. And an upgraded set of suspension arms also suit the upgraded ATM. And for existing owners, the retrofit upgrade is incredibly easy to do at home yourself. Everything just bolts onto the trailer with no modifications needed. That extra payload capacity means that you've got more ability than ever before to carry the gear that you need and still remain legal. For more information and full detailed specs on the MT1, see the 4-wheel drive Supacentre website. Now with a 2-ton ATM upgrade, the Adventure Kings MT1 Go Anywhere camper trailer can carry more gear than ever before.